Everybody, welcome back to the Evolving Activist. I'm Lauren Morn, and today we're going to talk about poo. um, One of the things about taking care of horses is that I get the pleasure and the privilege every day of picking up about 50 to 100 pounds of poo every day. I call it my manure meditation because it's usually a time when I get to think, and I get to just move my body and do this chore, but I don't have to put a lot of mindfulness into the actual chore itself. So it's kind of blank space for me in my day. And two things. So yesterday we talked about the idea of focusing your attention. And I invited you to give that a go for a week, to try, to focus, to just really focus your attention. And so today I was pretty aware of that. And it is right now in the Pacific Northwest in the US. It's chilly, it's wet. And in the mornings it's particularly chilly and gray. And so today I was picking up the poo, and it was raining, and it was wet, and it was really cold, and it was windy, which was making it even worse. And I started to catch myself in this moment of complaint, right? Of thinking, oh, this is just awful. I hate this weather. I can't stand this wind, blah, blah, blah. And then I thought, hang on a second, this is an opportunity for you. This is an opportunity for you to practice focusing your attention. What do you want to focus your attention on? And so I decided, just as an exercise, to really focus my attention, my whole attention, on the chore at hand, on picking up the poo and getting it, getting the place tidied up. And what I noticed, first of all, was that things went more smoothly insofar as I was more efficient. The other thing that I really noticed was that I stopped noticing. I was still aware of the weather. I was still aware of my discomfort and my cold and how wet I was, but I was less invested in it. It really wasn't something that I was paying as much attention to, and so therefore I wasn't expending a lot of emotional intelligence or emotional energy on whining about the weather. It was there, but it wasn't something that was causing me angst anymore. And so that, I think, was a really powerful moment, because just thinking about, in our activism, thinking about, everything that's going on in the world and how helpless we feel about a lot of it, to remind myself of, first of all, what is in my sphere of influence, and then to focus 100% on what I can control. What can I do, right? What can I send Reiki to all of the animals and the people in Australia, to the land? Can I pray? Can I send intention? Can I donate to some of the amazing organizations that are just trying so hard to keep up with the onslaught of everything that's going on? Can I send encouraging messages to my friends? Can I check in on them? So really, really mindfully focusing on what I can control and what I can do. I am still aware of the awfulness that's going on. I'm still aware of it. It's still awful. But it's not tearing me apart as much as when I just focus on it and stare at everything that's going on and just be, oh my God, this is awful, this is horrible, I can't stand it, right? The more I do that, the worse I feel. and the more helpless I feel. And honestly, I'm you'll hear me say this again and again. I do not believe that my angst is serving the greater good in those situations. It's not serving the greater good for me to keep getting more and more distraught about what's going on. What is serving the greater good is for me to be aware of it, to hold that space, to bear witness to it, and to keep focused on what can I do, what can I influence, and to focus on doing that. Now, this whole focusing my attention thing, let me tell you, um, it's not something we're trained to do, and so it can be hard work. It feels like, wow, like I'm not used to holding my focus on something very intentionally, and so it's a muscle that I'm developing, that I'm working, right? So just so as you do it over the next few days, if you are doing this, if you're practicing focusing your attention and your intention on your attention, just be aware that it is work. It's not just like, oh, and now I'm fully focused on this thing. It's a decision. It's a series of continuing to make little decisions in the moment all the time, bringing my focus back, bringing my focus back, bringing my focus back, focusing on what I can control, focusing on what's in my sphere of influence, right? Being aware of when I find myself focusing on things that are amplifying the angst, and then redirecting the focus, redirecting it back. So I hope that that's helpful to you, just to be aware of as you give this a go. The other lesson for today was the universe, as it does, loves to joke around with me sometimes. And the lesson was there's only so much crap your wheelbarrow can contain. So, and I have a really bad habit. Okay, when I'm picking up poo and the weather's bad, I have a bad habit of overloading my wheelbarrow because I just want to get it done. And I always overestimate how much heavy poo I can slog in a wheelbarrow. And I always overestimate how much I can balance as the wheelbarrow gets fuller and fuller. And invariably, as what happened today, either I will hit a bump when I'm trundling along and lose a bunch of poo off the side of the wheelbarrow, or it will tip over and empty itself completely on the ground. So it was just another opportunity to again focus, right? I could throw a tantrum when all this poo that I've spent an hour picking up is now back on the ground. I've got to scoop it back up into the wheelbarrow. Or I can remember that there's only so much poo a wheelbarrow can hold and to just be realistic about it. And so when I think of that and how it applies to my activism, I think of, how often we try and keep taking on more stuff, doing more stuff, doing. And, there's only so many hours in the day. There's only so much energy in us. And there's only so much poo our wheelbarrow can carry. So to think about that, to be smart about it, to maybe, do smaller things more frequently, or take shorter trips with, a less full wheelbarrow. Look at our schedule, try and find some white space on the calendar. There's only so much a calendar can contain, just like the wheelbarrow. So yeah, that was just a little takeaway I wanted to share with you today. Think about this as you go forward this week, and what is my calendar looking like? What's my schedule looking like? What are my energy levels? Do I have reserves? Do I have space to take on something else? right? Or is my wheelbarrow just getting really full, and is it going to tip over and dump poo everywhere? So with that cheery metaphor or allegory or whatever you want to call it, just to think about that. Keep some space in your wheelbarrow. It balances better when you do. So I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're having a good day or evening, and that you are safe, and that you are remembering to focus your attention on what you can control, what you can influence, and that you're taking care of yourself. And with that, I will catch you on the flip side.